Hello and welcome to the Grape Jelly Library. Hello, my name is Flossie. You could call me Flossie, you could call me Floss, or you could call me Flo. I don't mind. Today we're going to talk about some books, but before we do that, I'm going to tell you what I've been up to and what my intentions are. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so many of you know that my granddaughter has to have a procedure. She needs to have heart surgery, and we're just a nervous wreck about it. And everybody is telling me modern medicine, and it's amazing what they can do now. And I know, and I have faith, and I am brave, and I have strength, and I am a toughie. I just don't want that for her. None of us do. So it's a very difficult for us to have to get through. And believe me, I have been through some very, very difficult things when it comes to children. So I know we're going to get through this. We always do. But no one said it's going to be easy. We have a date. It took me this long to get my bearings about me. Plus, I was also dealing with other things work-related. So we have a date, July 16th. It was originally some unknown date in June, but they had to collaborate with all the doctors that needed to be on hand. And so it just came down to a scheduling type of thing, all the doctors in the right place at the right time. And so July 16th seems to be what they have decided upon. So we have a date now, and we've actually just learned that this week. So I decided that with everything that was going on in my life, and believe me, we're handling it. We are journaling, we are meditating, we are listening to calming, soothing music, we are not elevating temper, we are not manifesting anger towards anyone, we are not tolerating any types of behavior that we do not want to deal with. So we're either removing those people from our presence, or we're removing ourselves from their presence. So, I think the rest of my 2026 year is, if you're not going to be nice, if you are going to be a pot stirrer, a troublemaker, if you're going to cause me grief, if you're going to try and give me anxiety, I have a 3-letter word for you. And that word is get. Get. Because you are not allowed by me if that's how you're going to be. Those of the people that surround me, those who love me, I love them. And those who want to cause trouble for me, get. That's what I have to say. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. Get. You cannot have any of my time. You cannot. So there is that. Now I think I have everything all ironed out. And you know what? Here's one thing that I learned along this very, very, very long journey. If you are happy and if you live a good life, because it has nothing to do with finances, because you choose to be grateful, because you choose to be happy, because you choose to surround yourself with beauty, because you know you only have one life and you're only going around one time, if you choose happiness, I'm going to tell you what, people get pissed. Not everybody, but there are certain people who get pissed. They say they're in your corner. You think they're in your corner, but they're really not. They are pissed. because you're happy, and they don't want you to be happy. So, yeah, the way I see it is, if I want to be happy and you want to be pissed because I'm happy, get. Oh, gosh. I just amuse myself. I might edit that out and I might not. I know I might just rock with my true feelings. So, all right, so that's that. We have a date for my granddaughter, and we have life that we were living. Oh, what a beautiful life. Me and my granddaughter and my husband went to the circus, and we went out to the Olive Garden, and we went to the playground, and we swang on swings, and we played, tightrope, and we just had a ball. And then we did other things like, just fun things like living your life. And you know what? The sun has been shining, and it's been unseasonably warm. So one of the things I'm focused on, aside from Buddhism, I'm studying that, and I've been eating my salad. So I've been focused on my nutrition heavily, because now that I am no longer a lion and having to, fight for everything that I have, I'm calm. I'm the lamb now, and I'm letting things go. And I'm a Taurus, so all the zodiac signs are saying this is my year. And I don't know much about astrology, but it's been coming my way hard. This has to line up with Taurus, has to line up with Aries or something like that, and it's finally doing it after 7 or 8 years. And it's just going to be a wonderful year for the Taurus. So I'm glad about that. And also, I am having my 55th birthday on the 24th of April. And you know what? When my birthday comes around, I never ever feel old. Never feel old. I feel grateful that I made it that far. So I'm going book shopping. You bet your bippy I am. I'm going book shopping, and I'm excited about that. So with all of that said, there, I cleared the air. That's where I am in my life. I was deciding if I wanted to come back to this channel, because let's face it, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of editing. It's a lot of hours involved. If you lose your material, then it's disappointing, disheartening. So you just have to do it all over again. And then you say to yourself, but I love books, and I love talking about books, and I love talking to you about these books, and I don't want to give up what I worked so hard for. So I've decided, I'm here to stay. My mind is clear. I'm focused. I'm a ship on the water. I'm still sailing. I'm still moving forward, and that's what I intend to do. Move forward. So while I've been absent from my channel a little bit, I have been reading books, and it made me realize that, I think I'm more of a serious reader than I am of a lighthearted reader. But don't get me wrong, I do like to read lighthearted books too. But while I was gone, I did some really heavy soul searching and, back to my roots. So I decided, I'm going to go to the books that pull me rather than go to the books that are popular or maybe what everybody else is reading. I'm going to do my thing, and maybe some people will come along for the journey, and maybe some of you will not, and I don't know. We'll just have to see how this goes. But I'm going to show you the books. I'm going to share with you the books, some of the books that I am currently reading, and then I'm going to tell you about a book that is fantastic. Should I do another video? I should do another video with the book that was fantastic, because it really was fantastic. So, okay, that's what we're going to do. The first book that I want to share with you is by Margie Sarsfield, and it is Beta Vulgaris. And this is what it looks like. Now, the title and the cover is what sold me on this book. I didn't really read about the storyline. And so as I began to read it, I found myself really engrossed in this book. Surprisingly, I am 100% invested in this book. We have some very young adults, and they are going to like a beet farm, and that's going to be their job, to kind of harvest beets, and they're going to get paid for it. But we have a young lady, Elise, and she has a boyfriend, Tom, and Tom is like a hottie, and Elise was at one point had a weight issue, and she lost the weight, but she no longer sees food for what it is. She sees everything as calories. So if you said, like, burger, fry, Coke, she would see number, calorie, and she can't break that cycle. So there's that. And I think she always thinks that she's not good enough for Tom. And she's confused about, well, I don't think she's confused about her sexuality. I think she knows, but she just hasn't explored anything that I know of so far, other than, a relationship with Tom. But there is this girl that she just met. Also, Elise was caught for shoplifting in a Walmart, and so she's banned from Walmart. And this little clique that seemed to have formed at the beet farm, they're doing some drinking after work, and they're going to the local Walmart, which Elise is not allowed to go. She's banned. And also, when you hear this, Elise has this much money in her bank account, and her boyfriend Tom has this much money in his. And the thing is, Tom doesn't want to spend any of his money because he's embarrassed of how he acquired that money, and he just wants to make his own. And Elise, who only has this much money, she seems to be buying everything. She's like footing the bill for everything, and it's leaving me question that action. Like, why wouldn't you just speak up and say, hey, Tom, two-way street or something like that? But she's just not doing that. So I think she's creating her own problems. Several of her own problems. So yeah, this book has me invested, because I don't know if the girl that Elise has a crush on Tom, and Tom is Elise's boyfriend, and I don't know. I think things are going to get messy. So that one. The other one is the complete polar opposite. It is Nero and Paul, and I am just probably almost nearing the halfway mark. I haven't been reading, like a hound dog. I've just, when it strikes me, like, okay, I'm calm, I have free time, I'm in the mood to read, I'm just doing whatever it is that, tickles my fancy and is making me happy at the moment. And although I love reading, I'm not always doing that. I'm sitting in the sun eating salads, or I'm spending time with my granddaughter. So, we're doing what we can when we can. All right, this is a good story. It has me wishing I would have done the Audible version, because it's written by Kathie Lee Gifford in conjunction with Bryan M. Litfin, PhD. So, I love Kathie Lee Gifford, and I would have loved to hear her voice telling this story. I think I would have gotten so much more out of it. But even with that said, I still am tremendously enjoying this story. So, what can I say about it? All right, well, Nero is not a nice person. He's not a good person at all. And Paul is. So, the way that Kathy explains the book, like why you should get this book, is because it has just like everything in it. It has murder and stonings, and it has family relations. Nero with his mother, who is deceased. So, like, necrophilia. It has everything in this book. So, she's like, let's just tell this story. She says her son, Cody, said, hey, Mom, let's just tell the story, but let's explore a different avenue. Let's make it so interesting, in revealing what is going to be happening or what is happening in this book that, maybe a person couldn't resist buying the book and learning the story. So I didn't know any of that when I came into this. Like, that was her angle. But, when Kathie Lee Gifford talks, I listen. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested in this book. I have read 2 other Kathie Lee books. Something like Just When I Thought I Dropped My Last Egg, and then one of her very first books. And every time I tell somebody, Kathie Lee Gifford, the one that's more than just Regis Philbin, she was on Name That Tune, and nobody believes me, and I have to prove it to them, and then they go, son of a gun, look at that, I never would have remembered that. But I was probably 6 or 7 years old at the time, and I knew who it was singing those songs on Name That Tune. I guess I just have a good memory when it comes to certain things. The third book that I am currently reading is The Way of the Hermit. Yes. And I had to give it a little side-eyed action to make sure I was saying the right title. By Ken Smith with Will Millard. Now, what made me buy this book? Because I love a story like this. So apparently we have a man, and probably when he was about 38 years old, he was out and about, and these people jumped him, and they beat him so badly he nearly didn't make it. And it was in his recovery that he decided he no longer wanted to be a part of society. So he was going to head out to the woods, and he was going to, hunt and fish for his supper and make a home for himself in the woods. And he was just going to do his thing. And he ended up doing that for 40 years. So, I'm at the point of the book where he says he's 78 years old now. He's been doing this for 4 decades. And he does go into town. He walks into town. But the thing is, it's of his own volition. It's because he wants to, not because he has to. And he does welcome visitors to his home. He does. But the thing is, when they're gone, and he's back to the lifestyle that he created for himself, the lifestyle that he knows and that he loves. And I am just fascinated in a world that is so fascinated with materialistic things. And I will raise my hand because I love my stuff. So that's what makes my brain say, hold on. Let's see what this guy has to say. And how do you do without? How do you go without? How do you go to bare minimum and still live a happy existence and not feel like you're missing out on anything. So definitely want to know about that guy. Now, the book I'm going to tell you about probably in another video is, I have to think about it because I read it about 3 weeks ago, and a lot can happen in a person's life in 3 weeks. I know who the person is, but what did she name her book? What did she name that book? It's Liza Minnelli's new book. So I'm going to look it up and I'm going to put it right here. But you know what? I didn't set out. I seen the book and I was like, not going to read you. And I'm the memoir queen. I love to read a memoir, but I'm just not going to read you because, you know, life is short and I have so many other books that I want to get to. And then, you know, I had some Audible credits and I love when the author tells the story. So I hit click and sold. What a book. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. If that book is on your radar, then, you know, keep your eye on the ball. You might want to go get that book. You probably, definitely want to go get that book. It's fabulous. Am I saying too much? I feel like I am because I need to make a video about that book. So that is all that I have for you today, kiddies. You know what? I'm just gonna part ways with you with my words of wisdom. Okay? My words of wisdom. Stay in your lane. Create your own peace. Make your own happiness. Don't let anybody persuade you. Don't take anybody's shit. And you do you. Live a happy, fulfilled life. Surround yourself with beauty and things that you love. And if it is a person or a thing and you're not happy with it or it's not bringing you joy, you can share my word with me and tell them to get. Until we meet again, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading.